What's up, y'all? And you are tuning into another episode of Anything But Nothing with Lexx and Friends. Of course, I am your host, Lexx. And today, y'all, I got a special guest. Like, this woman is a special person in my heart. I love her. And this is very, very, very important to me that she is here. I have the one and only I am Sondra Marie, where you will reap what she speaks.
Period. I'm in the building. What's good?
Hey,
Lex, I'm so happy you had me here today. This journey, oh man, stop for real. Today is about the arrival, because you got to go through to get through to arrive to, right? And that's always been my saying, because if you've never been through nothing, you can't get through nothing. And the arrival is really the revival.
Okay, y'all, let me tell y'all. So I had the Sondra Marie here, and let me tell y'all. So first of all, she has known me since I was a little girl. A little girl. You have seen me grow.
I have seen you grow decades.
For real.
I put in work.
Let's even go into how did we meet? Because that's how I start every episode. How did we meet?
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, so I think you was like in elementary school. And I was working at like the most popping shop at the time. I think it was probably like
Technicolor.
Yeah, Technicolor
At the Boulevard.
At the Boulevard. And your mom would come in there and she's like, "You're so down to earth." Like, my daughter had a real bad hair experience, and like she's like, "Oh, she's discouraged. Can you just like take her under your wings?" I'm like, "Sure," because I know the impact and the inspiration and the insert of understanding when, you are asked or called to do something. Arrive, step up to it. Like, step up to it. So, oh, sorry, girl.
No, you good. So for everyone that doesn't know, you're a hairstylist, the hairstylist of the DMV. I like to say. I think she's the baddest in the city. But yeah, she was doing my hair. Yep, that's how we met.
Doing your hair.
You started doing my hair since I was in elementary school.
Since you was in elementary school, and I wanted you to believe early on. I wanted you to see that, you never saw your hair at a certain length, but if you trust the process, we're going to get there. And it was like your hair was growing and growing and growing, and you was like,
girl, because I came from the Africans.
Yeah.
No offense to my Africans, because when I was in college, shout out to my girl Evangelique. She's African. She had my hair on point when I came to school. But yeah, I was going through a lot of breakage.
Yeah, a lot of breakage.
When I came to you, because every black girl goes through that process of like the perms and the braids and all that. My mother did the best that she could, and I was tender-headed.
Oh, yeah.
I was tender-headed. I was a big crybaby. And then the moment I sat in your chair.
Yeah, you was such a good kid. You was such a good kid. It's been such a privilege to see you on this journey.
Listen.
I'm so happy for you that, just seeing like the process of, the elevation and the growth, and seeing you go through high school. You named my hair salon at the time.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah. Okay, so her, I'm lit. Her hair salon is called
The Fierce Lounge.
Yes, I remember when we were sitting in. Okay, so this is when you were in the second shop. What was it called? Phoenix Suites, right? And we were sitting in your suite, me, you, and my mom.
Yeah.
And you was just like, "I need a name," and I'm like, "Okay, let's figure this out." Mind you, I'm probably a freshman, sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And I was just like sitting there like, "Ooh, what about the Fierce Lounge where we make you fierce?" I had did the thing.
Right. Because, it did this. I still have it to this day.
I know, and it blows my mind that you still have that name. You really created a whole brand from just like this little girl telling you.
Oh, yeah, but, people downplay and downgrade the youth, but they really are the future. So I always embrace the future, because I was the future when my time was, I was misunderstood. So I always stood on what I believed in, and I knew that what I was saying eventually was going to come up to par and manifest into an articulated art of action and, vision of what I was saying. So when you came with the Fears Lounge, it was like it made sense because everybody comes in the lounge. The whole thing is to be fearless. It's not really what's on you, it's really what's in you. And it was more about like showing women how to show up at their best version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And lounge out. It's a free, like, it's just free space, safe haven. And, it's just amazing to see how many people and how many places and how many things I've sown into. And the harvests are just like, wow. I'm like, wow, because I wasn't trying. That's why I always say, if you are, you don't have to try. And a lot of times people will tell you who you are before you understand who you are. But when you know who you are and whose you are and what you were sent to be who you are, you understand that the journey is the greatest discovery of self. And when you are aware of self and when you evolve into everything is an evolution. And I always say, reset, start over if you got to do it every day. And it's just good to be here.
Girl, this is a full circle moment for
my
me.
God.
Like, I don't think y'all understand. I was in this woman's chair and I would cry, I would laugh, I would pour my whole heart out. Now, granted, I came from a 2-parent household, so it's not like I didn't have the support, but at that young age, I didn't know how to communicate from the emotional standpoint.
Definitely.
And so when I would sit in your chair, you would speak so much life into me, even in my most lowest moments. Like, you've been there with me through a lot of different things. Like, you almost like a second mom and a big sister all in one. And honestly, starting this podcast when I was like, all right, it's my time, this the moment, I was like, I gotta have you because, to be totally honest, there would be no podcast without you. The way you spoke to me growing up.
Wow,
I'm telling you, no, like, I'm serious.
That
like,
hit deep.
If there was no Sondra, there would be no anything but nothing, because you definitely spoke a lot of confidence in me. And just seeing how you were and how you carry yourself, I was just like, yeah, okay.
But
like,
this was,
I had my mom, don't get me wrong, I love my mother to death, and I seen how she is. But for at one point, we didn't connect very well.
Right.
Through her struggles and my struggles, we didn't connect as good as we are now.
Definitely.
But you connected to me and you made me feel comfortable to be who I am and to explain so many different things that I was going through. So I just have to give you your flowers, because the way you speak, Sondra, I'm telling you,
I appreciate
you be
that
dropping
so much.
gems, man.
I
I'm telling you
appreciate
so.
that. That means so much coming from you.
Really?
Yes, definitely. Because, when you sow a seed or when you put forth the effort, you're not looking for anything. You're just trying to insert a negative and to be a positive. You're trying to put in. And like I always say, why would I have my people, knocking on the door, climbing through windows when I got the keys? I was granted the keys through the experiences because I realized things was happening for me and not to me. And I never took on the victimized mentality. So I retained a lot of information. And I said that, this information will bless a whole nation. And, as I was a young child being raised by a single dad, my dad used to say, why you keep bringing all these alley cats in here? Why you keep, I would bring the girls from the impoverished place. I lived in, a place that was half and half, but we lived in a better place, but like half a mile away, it was projects. But I looked at it as though you see them as alley cats, but what if do you think alley cats want to be in an alley? They've been abandoned. They've been in a space where nobody loved them. So I was always the person like, I'm going to make her feel like a Persian. I'm going to bring her in my house, put some nice garments on her, and I'm going to give her an experience. Because how could somebody understand that being an alley cat versus a Persian cat is two different lifestyles, it's two different experiences? So I always said, if I give her the experience of a Persian cat, she may come from out the alley, from eating in the trashes, from pissing everywhere, from being on savage mode, and she may find a new level of herself. which is the discoveries of how we constantly are developing and evolving into new things, new versions. So I'm like, if I bring her in, if I feed her, if I give her good food, put good garments on her, pet her, love her, she has a newfound perspective. Even when she goes back in the street, she can still adopt the Persian mentality. So I'm like, I always was the kind like, I want people to feel. I want people to know. I want people to understand. Like, the more you go through, the more you glow.
Listen, for real, you just made me think of so many different things. But I do have to say, you are the first person that put money in my pocket.
Really?
For real. So y'all, funny story or fun fact.
Oh man.
When I was just graduating high school, right?
Really?
Right?
McNamara.
Right, McNamara. I had just graduated. Y'all, I am an alumni of Bishop McNamara. Shout out to
Period.
the school. And I was going to college, but I had to transfer into like what the fall semester, not the fall semester, spring semester. That's what it was. And so remember, I would come into your chair. I'm like, yo, Sondra, I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. Like, I can't just stay at home and go to school because I was going to CSM till I transferred. And he was just like, okay, don't worry about it. I got it. You found or you knew your friend at the time, and that she was looking for an employee to help with her shop, her boutique.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yo, I got a girl for you. And so then we met and we talked and we chopped it up. And that was my first paying job.
Wow.
And what I was doing was I was running her boutique in Phoenix Suites.
Right.
And I was selling clothes and hair and bags. And listen, that was the best job I ever had.
Oh,
the
for
best
real?
job.
That's
I
dope.
loved it. I loved it. I think
Entrepreneurship is
back
dope.
at it and be like, man, I should have took full advantage of certain circumstances from that situation. But, ooh.
It's good, but you had the experience.
Oh, yeah, but
so like the experience.
you have
is the
to
greatest
just,
thing.
I have to give you your flowers for
Oh,
that
thank
because you really put money in my pocket,
Oh,
sis.
wow.
I was living my best life that summer.
and enjoying it because
Absolutely.
see, that was what it was always about for me. I'm like one of the first entrepreneurs in my family, and I grew up in a family where everybody went to college. They're like, you're stupid if you don't go to college, and I was like, I'm raised with a single dad. I learned early on, I got to be the solution, not the problem. So if I go to school and I don't like school, I'm not indoctrinated into their systems. Like I can't learn like that. But I knew how to count money, and I knew how to tap into my creative side. So I always said, y'all don't want a job that y'all like because you don't really care about the money. The money comes to you. You're not chasing, you're attracting. Everything's coming to you. You're just waking up and you're excited to be somewhere. So I wanted you because I appreciate the fact you was in private school. I knew you was entering into college. I wanted you to have an experience that was free, and it was like, you was doing what you was tapping into a whole nother thing because you got clothes, you around all these different
my
things.
hair was done all the time.
Yeah, like you tapping into your image and what you're becoming. And not only you're working from the inside, you're working from the outside. So now you're around different things, different garments, and then you had the personality. You got the personality to do whatever you want to do.
Oh, thank you.
That's why I'm like, Lex, like, girl, sky has no limit when it comes to you. I surpass it. It's
that
the
was
heavens.
a great experience for me.
That's dope.
That
I'm
was
so
a great
happy for
experience
that.
me. Nah, for real. But I do want to tap into this one thing. Now, I did say
tap.
you have a way with words.
Right.
Like, your words are so powerful. Like, I'm telling you, I could tell you from behalf of all your clients, we can come into your chair after a long week, a long day, a long month, just life be lifing. And you would just speak life into us.
That's so
You were
amazing.
so positive, and you would make us feel like, you know what, I could do it. I can get through this. So you started this new thing on Instagram where you call it, I am Sondra Marie. You will reap what I speak.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with reap what I speak? That's powerful.
Yeah, so it was more like I always been a giver, and I've been interpret. People call me anything, because you're only as smart as the information you retain at this level. So a lot of people are going to see you and think that you're similar to something they had an experience with until they experience you, and then they have to have a different preview. So when you know that walking through this journey, I realized that if I sown seeds and I understood that my words spoke power, because for so long, people were like, girl, I need some Sondra. I need a channel. I need to come in. And it was like, I wanted to get more than just being a hairstylist, because I'm like, these are Black women that need to be poured in. And if I'm a water bearer plus the air sign, then I have the power to cleanse you, I have the power to hydrate you, I have the power to allow you to float in my water. And when I understood that I could feed people, I can help, it was like, okay. It was like, I don't need nothing, long as everybody good, because I already was going through my journey. And then when I came up with You Will Reap What I Speak, I started it in 2015 on my grandmother's birthday. She passed away in 1992. And I always say with every death, it has to be it's a renewal of birth. And so I was like, yeah, we can mourn her day that she was birthed, but she's deceased. So I was like, it's time for me to get in front of the camera, because I used to be scared to be in front of the camera. A lot of people don't know that. They're like, girl, you're not shy. But a lot of people didn't even know I did hair. I never would tell them. They thought I was a socialite.
And how long have you been doing hair?
26 years.
Woo! And I'm 27. You've been doing it for a long time.
I mean, way longer than that, but I've been getting money for 26 years. Because, I mean, I probably longer than that. I mean, I'm in my 40s. And
you look good for your 40s,
up,
girl.
You want to know how I started doing hair?
What?
Did you ever know that story?
No.
A lot of people don't.
Ooh, I want to know. Ooh, I got the exclusive. Let's go.
Exclusive. Being a young girl, being raised by a single dad, to get set up, and you like a little kid. I remember I probably was like 6. And the last time I remember before I started doing my own hair was my dad had us dressed nice, because he worked hard. You know what I'm saying? He made sure we had the best. That's one thing. Shout out to you. Dad, you did your damn thing. Like, real talk. Like, he sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, through the circumstances. But our hair used to look terrible. And I remember him taking us to Sunday school. And 2 women came out, and they fixed our hair, and they did it. And it was like, wow, you went to the extent to make sure we went in with the other kids to look decent. After that, like I said, I'd rather be the solution than the problem. I remember getting up in that stool in front of that mirror, taking a petroleum jelly, because back then we ain't had much product. Girl.
If y'all don't know what that is, that's Vaseline. Let me tell y'all, if y'all don't know what that is, that's Vaseline.
But it was like, I got to get this done. And I thank God for my creativity. You know what I'm saying? And that I wasn't scared to tap in and be whatever, be. But it went from that to like being a young girl in the neighborhood and, fixing certain people's hair, to being like 12, 13 and catching a bus in the Southeast, braiding hair. I mean, I started. And then middle school, I started weaving. And then high school, Largo High School, I was weaving, I was trapping. I was getting money early. So I was always seen as the fly girl, but I didn't see myself as that. I was just being me, you know what I'm saying? And I just was comfortable in my skin at every level. And it was like, I always knew back then, show up as your best version of yourself. For you, not for nobody else. Like, take the time out to give yourself some self-love, some self, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that was always important for me. Because growing up without a mom, you got to, like, find your way. Like, you got to find your identity, and you got to have self-awareness. And you got to, like, really understand everything around you is giving you tools. And you have to know what to filter out, what to take in, what not to, and it's a very challenging thing. So as I walked into my journey, it was like the way people embraced me, it was like, damn, this is cool. Because, see, I got another exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive. I love it.
I was a tomboy for so long.
I can't believe it.
I knew how to change tires and cut grass before I knew how to cook and clean.
I can expect that.
And I was a tomboy. Like, growing up, people would say she gonna be a stud. I didn't know what that meant. I'm outside playing football. I'm outside like climbing trees. And it was like when I went to high school, I tapped into I seen a femininity that I was like, ooh, I like this. And it was like, now I can articulate it in a better way, but it was really about channeling both energies. I knew my masculine energy first because I was raised with my father. My brother was my best friend. My sister was my mom. And so, like, you know, the femininity came, and it was like, that's what the Fears Lounge was. Like, you're young, but you tapped into, like, because Fears, I know we off topic. We got to go back.
No, you good.
But Fears to me is like fearless, like fire. Like, it's like, like.
And that's how we felt when we were in your chairs. Like, we would feel so defeated. But once you made us look fierce, we felt fierce. We felt fearless. We felt like, okay, I can take on the world. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? You brought something up about not having that fear. I remember one conversation we had, and I don't know how long ago this was, but it never left me. You had said that fear is false evidence appearing real.
I got that from
Let me
Ralph Smart.
tell you that when you gave me that message,
profound.
It never left.
Because think about it. I always use this analogy because it can always take you back somewhere that everybody can tap into, right? When you was young and you were scared to get up to go to the bathroom because that coat that you thought was the boogie monster really was just a coat. But because the fear was giving you false evidence, appearing real, the only way that you could address it and stand up to it is when you turn that light on and realize, oh, God, you was about to make me pee in the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was about to make me pee in the bed. But the illusions and the perceptions and all the things, our mind is a very, very, very terrible thing to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like to give people things to help them persevere forward. Like, nah, don't be fearful, because fear is when you see a truck coming straight at you or a gun straight at your head. That's when you are scared. That's when you are fearful. Fear a lot of times holds us back and put us in paralyzed, you know, moments where we're paralyzed in our thoughts because the fear has taken us, and it's not even real. Like, show me the evidence. So it's like, yeah, I'm that girl that I'd be like, damn, I wish I was scared of some stuff. I ain't scared of nothing. And I didn't face everything head on. Like, what's up? Come on. The old ladies in the church call me a devil slayer, demon slayer. They like, whoo. Because when you understand that when you're great, you're tested, I'm talking about on so many levels, and you conquer and you overcome, you be like, what? I'm not the one. I'm not the two. I'm the chosen one.
Let me tell you. I'm telling you, you know how to speak. I tell y'all better tune in. I am Sondra Marie. You will reap what I speak.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, like, I could tell you that message alone years ago, it just never left. And even when I did my first episode, I had to tell myself, like, this is it. This is my moment, because, you know, I feel like a lot of people, we are scared of the start.
Oh, yeah.
We're scared to start. We're scared of the what ifs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If it fails, if it goes this way, that way. And I was that person. I was just like, okay, I'll wait when I'm ready. When I'm ready. I ain't ready. I'm just doing it. I'm
inspired, though.
Really?
What? Like, oh, my God. Like, because, like, I put out so much for free. But I knew that I was feeding a generation that I haven't even seen. And, like, to give is to gain. And I never looked for nothing back in return. But it was like, to see, I just, like, it blows my mind, because I had women that was 96 years old say they look up to me. And I was like, huh? What do that mean?
Right.
They say you are the manifestation of our prayers. I said, huh? And when I realized everything I was given, it was touching so many. Like, my range is crazy. I'm talking about, I got 100. I'm in touch with a lot of 100-year-old women
Mm-hmm.
to 10-year-old little girls that still look up to me. I have a range. And that's like a real good feeling because it let me know that I am every woman.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm every woman.
because I always want somebody to see a reflection of them, even if at their lowest. Because I've been low to the highs, to the highs, to the lows. It's been like a, you know what I'm saying? And I embrace my journey. I like, thank you, God. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't, you know, it's amazing because growth is in the willing and able to understand that when you understand you're a seed, and that's how I say, when you want to clean up things, you go to the origin of your pain and you address your inner child. And so sometimes when you're trying to break, I'm a generational curse breaker and I'm a system and cycle breaker that if it doesn't serve us, let's do away with it. It didn't work then, it ain't gonna work now. So I always look at us as like, if you're a garden and if you sown a seed last season, because we know that everything that reaps, it comes. That's why when I say you will reap what I speak, it's more of like they say you will reap what I sow. But I ain't sowing nothing. I'm giving you what I speak because I want you to embrace it. I want it to resonate through your mind, your body, your soul. I want it to go through all your systems, your nervous system, your reproduction. I want it to resonate, and I want you to apply it so you can be great. So it's like when I say you will reap what I speak, it's like reap it because they say you reap a harvest. And this comes from my blood, sweat, and tears. I retained all this information, all these words, all these, you know, the intuitive mind, the intellectual, the broad vocabulary. I never read a book. Like school was like, I am the school. I am the church. I am the wife. I am the mom. I am. So when you already are, why you got to try to be? We already working hard to try to succeed. You feel me? So it's like, I think like that little part that's in between, like even seeing you as a young girl and like seeing you as a grown woman, I feel privileged because I've been on so many journeys with girls that I've raised at 8, and then they bring their daughters back at 8, and they're like, this is who I've been, you know, it's like, dang,
That's a full circle moment. Yeah.
it's a blessing. So it's like, as much as I give, I be wanting people to know I'm just as privileged to have the opportunity to sow a seed in you or to be an insert or to be, you know, something that you may have needed, you know, like resuscitate you at the time or breathe new life or speak new life. I'm privileged also. It's a reciprocated thing. Like, it's not just a give. It's I get something back too because I realize that God has entrusted me with my journey to, you know, distribute out experiences, wording, you know, knowledge, wisdom, understanding for others to understand self and to be greater and know that your highest, greatest currency is your energy. That's your real wealth.
Right. So you did bring up being a mom. You're a mom. You're a wife.
Oh my God.
What is that like?
Wow.
Okay, because, you know, I'm young and I'm single. I'm outside.
Just right now.
But, you know, you're a mom.
I
So you
know.
have 2 kids. You
I have
have Wayne
2.
and
I
Dakota.
have 2
Tell me
kids.
about that.
2 kids and a bonus.
Oh, yeah, you do. Because you got
do,
married and he has
yeah.
a child.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you had your first kid?
I was 19.
19, and that's when you
Yeah.
had Wayne. And Wayne is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't met Wayne personally. Well,
You
I've seen
haven't?
him.
You
I've
seen
seen
him when
him.
he was
Yeah, I've seen
younger?
him. I've definitely seen him
Now
when he
he's
was
like
young.
a
He's a grown man now.
yeah.
But off of just knowing you, I can see who he is just by how you talk about him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, he's
'Cause
so inspiring.
what are the compliments? Ugh, I'm tongue tied. I'm just in awe. The accomplishments he has had. Can you describe that right now? Because I know you brought it up the other day.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that my son heard me, right? And as it's so funny because when he grew up, I always used to say, "You an eagle. You can fly." Man, listen, I was, you know, like the coach, when he been playing football his whole life, I showed him in football, use your gift to make provisions for whatever you want. We don't pay for education. We're already smart, right? And so I never knew he was listening until like 15. And he said, "Ma, you know, I'm ready to leave." And I'm like, "Where you going? You can't go nowhere." He was like, "You said I was an Eagle, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, I'm playing varsity in 9th grade. I want to go where the real football players at." So I'm like, "You're only 15. You can't go. Where are you going to go?" And he was like, "I'm already got a meeting with the coaches. I'm flying out soon." I'm like,
ooh, that's a boss move right there. That is grown man energy at what? How old? 9th grade?
15.
15?
And so it reminded me who I was in that moment. Because a lot of times through the journey, when you're wearing all these different hats and you're, you know, moving around, you don't really know like what your impact, the words of your impact, what you have put in and what you have sown. You don't know what it's going to manifest to. So to see it, it was like, wow. And then my son went out there, he got a full scholarship. He got signed in 12th grade. He learned how to channel his pain on the field. And that's what I was like, you can't walk around like a wounded bear, hurting everybody, bleeding on everybody.
You ain't lying.
It's more about like, you know, channeling it into your gift and being a dog. So my son is a dog. And he's like an old school soul because he understands
and he
the struggle.
Speaks very well.
Oh, yeah.
He speaks very well. He got a nice, like, cool, chill
He's a humanitarian.
Vibe. Yeah.
I be like, yo, like, I used to be so loud and so outspoken, and my son was so quiet. And I used to, like, say, "Can you teach me how to be quiet like that?"
Oh, my God.
He like, "Mom, all you got to do is just sit." I said, "I don't know how to, I wish I can be as calm and reserved as you are." He's like, "I wish I can, like, get all those words together and, like, move them how you move them. Like, how do you come up with all these words?" And, like,
that's crazy how you feel that way because that's how we feel about you.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, but
and then you have a beautiful daughter, Dakota.
Yes.
That's your twin.
Oh my
Dakota
God.
look just like you.
That's crazy.
Just like you.
Like, wow.
She's
God
beautiful.
He's the man. Like I say, God is my father. Mother is my nature.
Say it again. One more time.
God is my father. And mother is my nature. So, yeah, like, my daughter was like, ooh. My daughter is a better version of me, but she's tapping into things that I never even could imagine. So it's like seeing her growth and seeing her, you know, being able to be here at this time. Because at her age, I think my dad like shipped me to my aunt. Was like, I don't know, she's wild. But I wasn't wild. I was just misunderstood. And so, like, when people come to me with their kids and they're like, "Oh, my God," I'm like, they're misunderstood. Just pay attention to them. They'll show you exactly what they need. And when you're tapped into yourself early, yeah, you look crazy. You look like a conspiracy theory. You look like a wild child. But I just think I was a free spirit, a free thinker, an independent mover and shaker. I like to move independently. And, you know, so, but my daughter is, she's very gifted. She's been tested twice as gifted. I didn't, you know, I didn't extend her grade because socially and her coming through like elementary to middle and COVID, socially it destroyed the kids because like,
yeah,
I'm like, y'all not normal. Like,
yeah, COVID hit
y'all
everybody
not real
different.
kids. And the internet,
I couldn't be a kid in COVID era. I could not be a student in COVID era. I couldn't imagine trying to go through high school, let alone college, through COVID.
No,
I just made it. I
seriously.
graduated in 2019. Thank God, because I couldn't do it. I'm a very in-person.
no,
I need to
seriously.
see
Both
everything.
of my kids got a traumatic move through COVID, but they're persevering very well at this moment. It's such a privilege to see their journey. I'm like, dang, y'all.
But speaking of COVID, I remember someone got married during
Right?
COVID. Now, this is I love this story. I'm not gonna lie. So I remember when you kind of debuted your husband on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, this is a fly couple." And then I remember when he proposed at church. I think it was around New Year's,
it
and I
was New
remember that
Year's
was a
Day.
beautiful moment. He proposed to
Yeah,
you in front of the
Marvin Sapp
whole
sang.
church.
Yeah, it was so like
That was amazing, and they were dressed nice. I mean, you had the nice shiny boots. I was like, "Oh, this is a bad couple." Let me tell you. And then COVID happened, and you guys got married in a really, really, really nice house, damn near a mansion almost. And then you had everybody tuned in on live.
it was crazy because as a little girl, I always see my wedding very simple.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people see me as extreme because they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "You're so expressive in your clothes, your hair, your." But in my marriage, that's why I never got no tattoos. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, when I get married, I want to be like I want it to be like,
I didn't
and
know that.
yeah, I don't have no tattoos. And I always wanted to get married in a garden, just me,
Uh-huh.
my husband, and my kids, because I feel like when it's all said and done, a lot of people put forth the effort into
Mm-hmm.
places that they put more effort into the wedding versus the marriage.
Mm.
My investment was more into the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
How can how can we evolve in this marriage? How can we grow as individuals to be collectively together and be
Mm-hmm.
effectively, we're non-traditional. Like
Mm-hmm.
we the kind that we do what we want. Y'all do what y'all can. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? So it was like, okay, God, you got a real strategic way of giving us what we need versus then what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we are very shallow as women
Mm-hmm.
and men because we all have an idea of what we want it to look like
Mm-hmm.
instead of what it feels like.
Listen, fun fact before I continue, you know when you was doing your wedding, I was having a paint and sip.
For real?
I was like, I invited my best friend Marcel. I was like, listen, we gonna do a paint and sip and watch my friend get married. I thought that was so hilarious.
It was
I was
so
like,
it was so cool.
it was so cool. It was beautiful though.
Oh my God.
It
And I
was
didn't even know it
amazing.
was gonna be streamed. My husband did all that. Like I didn't even know. I just thought we
Mhm.
was just gonna do it and just
Mhm.
get it over with
Yeah.
because but when he bought the streaming and he did all this stuff and he was like, we ended up finding out we was the first like virtual wedding.
Really?
Yeah, like people was calling us like, how did y'all pull it off? Nothing's open. And I was like, we're creatives. Like
Mhm.
everything was created. We
Mhm.
had nothing was open.
Mhm.
Like the drapes came from my cousin's. They was her tablecloths from her wedding.
Not the tablecloths from the
Yeah,
wedding.
like we had to like grab everything we can get. The flowers that was in the back.
Uh-huh.
Dollar store. We was in Roses and Dollar Store. I mean, we paint gun everything. We did it ourselves, and it
Mhm.
was like
But it was beautiful.
for it to show the real love and the things that we was coming through. It was like wow, because a lot of people didn't know that right after we got married, we became homeless.
Mm.
Yeah,
What? Exclusive. Because
Exclusive,
I did not know that.
Our house was deemed as inhabitable because it was mold. We was sick. We was going through it.
Mm.
And the mold felt like a demon haunting you and you don't even know why. Every time I would walk through the front doors, it was like I would sleep for like 20 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
I would have I just would pray through the house because I'm like, it's something in here. But it was the mold, but you couldn't see it because it was behind the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, right after we got married, we were sleeping on somebody's floor. Yeah. Like,
Ooh, that's marriage.
me and my husband, like, really went through it to get through it, to arrive to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait till we able to, a lot of people call us to want to do our, story or whatever because we both come from some things.
Yeah.
And then how we connected and then the things that we had to persevere through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, you feel me? Because even when you don't know and you understand that God is the head, the front, the top, the bottom, he's like, he him. But I got to have a mother too, and she's nature. So even when you can't find him, you go out into the elements. And I find I like to decode through nature, like with dragonflies and like all that type of stuff gives me answers.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward.
No, I'm stuck on the marriage part because you are right. Like marriage now is so everyone looks at it so differently, especially with social media. And like people don't realize like you're not just signing a piece of paper. You're not just having this big grand wedding with all your loved ones and friends. And to be honest, I'm the type of person, I don't really like big weddings.
Yeah, I was so happy it happened how it
Yeah,
happened.
you're really paying for everybody to eat and drink for free and talk.
And spectate on you.
Right. And I'm like,
nah, they're not going to be there when it all goes down.
Yeah, and that's what COVID kind of like made people think about, because the marriage is really what's after the wedding. And, you know, my parents, they've been together. So if I'm 27, they've been together. They've been married for 27 years. They've probably been together for like 26. Yeah, 26.
No, they did a hell of a run.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got that numbers wrong, so don't even quote me on that one.
But
But again, they've been married for 27 years, and I've seen them go through a lot of ups and downs. And my parents were very honest. Very open. They kind of like made sure I knew what was going on.
Definitely.
And that's not kind of normal for a lot of parents to do.
I think they need to.
Yeah, because once I understood what was going on, I had more respect for the situation.
Definitely.
I moved differently with what I would ask my parents, because everyone thinks that, oh, I was the only child, so I'm spoiled. I must be sheltered.
Oh, yeah. People
I must
have
be this and that. And I'm like, I'm none of that.
Like none of that.
I'm none of that. And I'm very close with my parents.
Oh, yeah.
It's very open relationship where there's really like no... Not to say there's no boundaries, but I never feel like I can't go to them for anything. And I never feel like I can't, you know, tell my mom, like, look, I had a bad moment.
Right.
Sometimes I regret telling her, but at the same time, there's always that instinct, like, I got to tell my mom, even when I don't want to. But again, you know, seeing that marriage grow, I realized, you know, what I want in a partner is more so what they can handle when it's bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The
it's
endurance.
great.
Because see, that's the part. Like people like wedding. Forget a wedding. Like
it's not important.
Like I wasn't tripping off of none of it. And I was more about the marriage. Like my thing was, what type of partner do I have? Is this longevity? When I'm locked in, is you 10 toes down? Or you know what I'm saying? Do you... First of all, he already been through things that the average person couldn't live through. Same with me. So we had a matching thing where it was like, even though I looked at him and I'm like, I would have never thought God was like, that's him. Never. I would have put $1 million on it. Like, and that's why I said God has a very good sense of humor.
Ooh, listen, the fact that you said that is crazy, because, you know, they told my mom that she would never have kids before she met my dad. And she was in a relationship for a very long time. It was not the greatest relationship. It was toxic. And I tell her all the time, I say, you know, I think God was telling you that you can't have a child with this man.
Oh, yeah.
Because the moment that, you know, she left situation and she met my dad, boom, she became pregnant. And when she found out, all the doctors and the nurses, they all cried, because they was just like, they couldn't believe it. Like, it was set in stone. They know you can't have kids.
Oh,
and I made it. You know what I'm saying? So,
period.
I'm just like, their relationship had to happen. Like, that's definitely God set in stone.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's a line divine time. For sure.
Like I said, seeing their relationship grow over the years, I could tell you that I just want to be with somebody who's going to be with me through the bad. I want that partner to be like, my mom will always say, you know, no matter how mad my dad be at her, he going to wake up every morning and give my mom her coffee to start her day.
Right.
It don't matter if it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If my mom turn her over and say, hey, baby, I got a headache, my dad going to go to CVS and get that Tylenol if we ain't got none in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, my parents, I've seen them grow.
Seriously.
And to be honest, you know, they barely really know each other when they had me. And they kind of like rushed everything. It was like baby, house, job, life, you know, everything went by so fast. And then when I left for college, that's when they really fell in love. Like, they actually start to date again. I swear, I thought my parents was going to divorce when I left for school. I just knew it. Not to say that it was a toxic environment in my house. My parents kept it cute.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just like, you know, maybe this might not be it. When I came back home, they were so in love. I was just like, I ain't never seen y'all like each other like this. But I just seen them persevere through so many struggles. So many levels. Right?
It's like, what I realize is, what you don't complete with that person, you're gonna get another version of it with a different social security card. It may be a worse issue, because if you ain't get it the last time, then you're gonna have to get a more stronger version to get you there quicker. So everything that we go through in the relationships is just to get us to where we're going. And like you said, to have a partner that you can evolve with and you can fall in love with. And it's not the good days that's going to have you like, it's the bad days. It's the days you got to trap out and you got to say, what we doing? All right, we're going to be good.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, we got this.
Yeah.
No matter how low we go, we gonna rise.
Yeah, I've seen the financial struggles with my parents. I've seen when they both had it like that. My dad was working Lockheed Martin. My mom had her, you know, she was very, what do you call it? She was very well established in her career. And I seen them do very well. And then I also saw when my dad lost his job and my mom stepped up. I saw when my mom lost her job, my dad stepped up. And I just seen that balance.
You gotta see it.
Even when things were bad with them connecting, they knew, oh, but we still gonna get this done. We still got a child that's gonna have everything she needs. Like, simple fact is, my parents made sure I was always in a private school, even when they were struggling to figure other stuff out. But they always made sure that was okay. Yeah. And I think the only thing that really saved the relationship was me. And not everybody can do that. You know, some people say, oh, I can't stay just for a kid. My parents did, and they're living proof that that can work. Yes. It's not for everybody. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
But they're living proof that it can happen.
For sure.
And like I said, my parents are best friends. They know each other like the back of their hand. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I have everybody and myself look up to my parents in that relationship because they are a living truth that it can work. It can work.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, this dating scene. Be lucky you ain't single because this shit is hard. Let me tell you, it is hard out here. I had a friend that used to say, like, yo, it's a game. It's a game.
Nah, it's like, oh my God.
Because of social media makes it 10 times.
Oh my God.
10 times hard.
You know, because the perception of what it really is versus what people think it is the detrimental of like the demise of the person.
Yeah.
I got women that come in my chair and they are well established. They got it going on. And they're like going through therapy because they feel depressed because they see somebody online getting more attention than them. They feel like, and then you know the girl that is really on Instagram and has 100,000 likes and she has no furniture in her house. She has no morals. She has no values.
She throwing shade.
I mean, no shade. I'm just being real because, see, you know, I always say don't look at something as what you think it is. Find out who the fuck you are. That's why I was like, take a deep breath, remember who you are. Why you worried about her? How she got you depressed? Is she a reflection of what you want to be or what you wish you was? Then it's time for you to put that work in. See, we got to stop looking at things because that's just what it is. Like, it's just
because there's a huge difference between being inspired and being jealous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a huge difference because I know that a lot of my friends, you know, I want to see my friends win because I feel like if they winning, that means I'm close. I'm behind.
Oh, for sure. Sure.
I know that when I was still living with my parents, I had some friends that were moving out. And then, like, if I didn't have a job, I had friends that were finding a job. I had friends that got married. I'm not married. But I'd be so happy for them because I'm like, I'm close.
Right.
I'm close.
Oh, yeah.
You know
what
I'm saying? Like, I've never been a hater because I'm going to be like, I'm rooting for you because if
yeah.
you win, I win.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm inspired because it makes me feel like I can do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you only could give what you have. A lot of people give and hate because they hate themselves.
Right.
And when you realize that, you know, because we go through a lot of things, we got high energy. Our energy can, like, either irritate somebody going to embrace it, somebody's going to be fulfilled, somebody's going to be inspired, somebody's going to be like, the hell, right? But when it's all said and done, a lot of times people see a reflection of what they wish they was and what they really wanted to be. Because, see, the light is really deep down inside of you and it shines out regardless. Even at my lowest, people thought I was rich. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew that my energy was my highest currency. And as long as I worked on me, I will attract everything that I need. And it was like, I don't chase, I attract. I sit back and I develop. I renew. I need everything that's really new.
Right. And you know what? You brought up this journey.
Ooh.
You know, one thing I've came to understanding was, you know, there really is no destination.
No.
There really is no destination. You can have goals.
Listen,
you know what I'm
girl.
saying? But there is no destination. Because once you reach a goal and you accomplish it, there's another goal. And then there's another goal. And then there's another goal. And I'm like, you know what? The real destination is when I get to my maker. That's the real destination.
Like,
but the journey, it's a long one.
It can be.
It can be
It
really
is a long
hard. It can
one.
have beautiful moments. It can have ugly moments. And then, you have different chapters,
Yeah,
right?
but you always got to use them
So I have
real
to
good.
ask you, in this point in your life, because you've been through so much, what would you call this chapter?
Ooh, this chapter for me it's humbling.
Humbling.
Yeah,
That's how you
it's
describe
a
it.
reevaluation and a correction
Mm-hmm.
because knowing a lot is not always good. It's a gift and a curse
Mm-hmm.
because you have to know where you have to utilize the information and put forth where it's supposed to go. And when you have a gift for others, you still got to go through your own journey.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people like, you got it. People see me inhuman and they're like, you got it. You helped me through this and nobody, you've been through this, you've been through that. But it's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my journey has been my reference point that I will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I still have I'm a spiritual being living in a human experience. So I still do feel, I still do experience real life things.
Mm-hmm.
So when things happen to me, I can be humbled.
Mm-hmm.
I can be shook. Ain't happened in a long time, but I'm grateful for the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, I use everything. I'm not wasteful
Mm-hmm.
over no experience I go through. So now in this season, I feel like it's a sit back, reevaluate, correct a few things,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like a fast track is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Only because sometimes like the lens, because you are like you behind the camera a lot of times, you're with media and so you understand the lens.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we're in a season of a blur,
Mm-hmm.
some filtered. It's more broad and more, the image is way more bright and then it's way more, you know, but in this season for me, it's more like I'm a visionary, so I can see ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes it scares me, like, but me being humble and sitting back and coming down
Mm-hmm.
is really the real rise. It's like when you sow the seed is humble, it goes down, it gets new roots, and as it rise. So that's why I said the fast track. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the harvest had to reap before spring, or a lot of stuff is reaping now.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to reap like summer, like when the sun. I talk to a lot of like people that grow crops and people that are farmers, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of off seasons, and I'm like, okay, let me tap in because I base myself on Mother Nature. Like if she's rising, then I'm rising too.
Mm-hmm.
So me saying me being humble is just sitting sometime at the feet
Mm-hmm.
and being a student instead of a teacher because I'm always teaching.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes to find your way, but life is your greatest experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing that I learned lately was discovering the new versions of ourselves. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the greatest thing.
Right.
Like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's why I say there's no destination, because we are
There's
just
no
constantly evolving. There's constantly change.
destination.
There's no destination until you meet your maker. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of changed my whole perspective
Yes.
on my life. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
they really do mean it when they say, yo, don't be worrying about the
Yeah.
stuff that don't matter.
No,
Don't worry about the
seriously.
future. Don't worry about what happened before. Worry about the now.
No,
And have
seriously.
faith that tomorrow is going to be better.
No, seriously.
And it's crazy that you talk about the seed, because I went to church today and Pastor Kobe, he was talking about having faith as the size of a mustard seed
Mm-hmm.
can make big things happen. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not probably saying it right, but that's how
No. That's
I took it.
I mean, because it's just about having a thought about something and sowing it. And I always say, like with my family, when I broke the generational curses, I had to go and I had to prune off certain things and I had to pull the roots because I no longer wanted it to grow the same. Because a lot of times we think that it's generational curses, but a lot of times it's just recycling habits.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you see around you, you repeat. And because it resonates with you and you think it's family, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to eat fried chicken. But if they had diabetes, why would you do the same thing?
Right.
So, like, to get a change, you have to be a glitch in a system that, whatever. But I got stuck brain. I was about to say something, but
no, you good.
no,
I mean,
like,
we could talk for hours and
yeah.
hours and hours, but man, I just have to say, Sondra, thank you for being here. This means the world to me. I'm just trying not to cry because, like I said, this is a huge full circle moment for me because I'm sitting here thinking like, I was just a little girl in your chair. I remember talking to you about like my heartbreak and people in school talking about me or whatever drama I had, or if me and my mom was fighting or whatever the case may be. And now I'm sitting here on my own show and you right here next to me. Like, that's crazy to me.
Right?
Like, I'm having a moment.
But that's when dreams, they say dreams, you only can see them when you're asleep. But that's one of the things that you know that's in you. Mm-hmm. You get this is an articulation of what it looks like once it births. Mm-hmm. You birthed this. Mm-hmm. You went through the contractions. You had to push and breathe to get through this point. And for you to arrive, it's like you went through the pain. Can't nobody tell you the behind the scenes. I always say your journey is your blueprint to what you do and what you need to do to be renewed. So you arrived here. This was a line in divine's time. Mm-hmm. And because of your grind, God will always make sure you shine.
Thank you, love. Thank you. I just have to make sure I give you your flowers.
I
and
appreciate
your light is something I want to share to the world. And I really,
sweet. I
don't want to be selfish at all.
Oh, God.
I'm going to give you to the world. So I'm so happy for you to be here. I just have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And to everybody that's watching, please follow my girl. I am Sondra Marie on Instagram, where you will reap what she speaks.
Period.
Stay tuned, because my girl going places, okay?
I'm going places.
That word she speak is powerful. So definitely follow her. I promise you gonna get something out of it. It's gonna make your day. Because I remember one day on Wednesday, you was talking about win days. Yeah. I was like,
I'm like, wake the fuck up and win today.
But yeah, so let me close this out. Thank you for watching another episode of Anything But Nothing with Lexx and Friends. Of course, I'm your host, Lex. I got my girl Sondra with me. Peace.